final matches. And here we are going to kick it off. And this map was pretty well known for lurker harass, particularly lurker drops.
I was thinking of this map when I was talking about the lack of elevation changes.
With you're mixing this with Grand Line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can see here, lurker drops can come in at many different angles on the mineral patch, and it's very easy to sneak lurkers in right here to this corner of the main mineral line, or should we say here. And what do you think about these spawn locations? They are cross spawn rather than top versus bottom.
Well, the thing about the 4-player maps in the ZVT is that the third base is going to be pretty difficult to stop regardless of where it's put down. But at the same time, Young's going to look at this. He's going to scout Franskar, and he's going to say there's really only one logical choice of a third. And with just how short these distances are, and not to mention that the fact that this third main is going to be on the low ground, he might preemptively be able to attack with his Bioforce. And even if Franskar is able to get the lurkers there, being on the high ground, he might be able to get a little bit of something fancy done there as well.
Now, I will say with these positionings, mech becomes a bit easier because you can go mech, and then blob out with your mech army and have a third, and then blob out again with your mech army and have a fourth, and then you're right outside the Zerg's main base. Zerg,
so both
very
are gonna,
unlikely.
Scout each other pretty quickly here.
Mm-hmm. A bit of worker harass going down, a bit of a spitting fight.
Oh, he's blocking the spawning tool! He's blocking the spawning tool!
Oh no! A slight delay there. Now, I predict lurker drops. He knows the spawn positions. This is a little more favorable to Terran during early pushes. There is the low ground main, which is a little more conducive to drops rather than high ground mains. That's my prediction. What do you predict from the Terran player?
As a Terran player, he's already got his barracks up on the high ground, so he really wants to protect that ramp. But like you said, if these lurkers, they don't miss uphill, as far as I can tell. So if he's able to get lurkers situated at the bottom of this ramp via a drop, that's going to be really damaging for Young. And Young, I don't think he has any knowledge of Franskar's previous game, so he might not even see it coming.
That is very true. We know that Franskar likes to do lurker drops.
What I think Young's going to try for is a timing attack off the 2 base and about 4 racks, and essentially go into the whole sunken defense type of scenario.
Now, if he does choose to go into SK Terran...
that's an engineering bay.
This could be a +1 sunken bust.
Yeah, looks like it.
A very carbon copy from Brood War. Get out a bunch of barracks, +1 attack, and go destroy some sunken colonies. Of course, there's spine crawlers in this game. Still same principle.
Oh yeah.
And we do see...
I just keep calling them sunkens.
Queens instead of a third hatch.
Oh yeah. So he did this with mutas before. We might see mutas again.
Now this map is very nice for muta harass, this high ground above the natural. However, this is more akin to a 3-hatch muta, so we're likely to see more macro-based play.
Well, there's that +1. Oh, no, this is going to be interesting because I believe the timing for this +1 attack on the natural of Zerg is going to happen around the time mutas are out. So this attack doubles as a defense for those mutas as well. And by the time the mutas clean it up, then he's going to be able to have turrets up in his main.
Yeah, this timing attack does very well against 2-hatch muta. And it can bust a 4-hatch muta that only builds 4 spine crawlers. Spine crawlers are typically built in pairs because they do 40 explosive damage, and Marines are small, so explosive damage gets halves versus small, and that means they 2-shot Marines. So you want to build them in pairs of 2, and 4 is normally the number from Brood War, and of course in Starvo.
Oh, alright, here's the Spire. Spire is being made. Lots of lings coming out. In response, it's okay to make a swell of lings right before putting the Spire down, or around when you put the Spire down, just in anticipation of any early push that Terran does.
Most
And,
notably, these lings are normally made before the spire is halfway done. After the spire is halfway
Yeah.
done, you kind of want to stockpile the larvae so you can have a big swell of
Exactly.
mutas. And these lings are normally not to deal with the push, but rather to do a run by once the push comes out. Normally you see the Zerg player hide his lings, like over here, with one out here to scout. And then once the Terran army is moved out, the lings wrap around and slip into the base, forcing the Terran player to move back. And it's a great counter to this sunken bust.
Now it looks like I was wrong in my prediction. He's doubled up on bunkers, so he thinks there's a bus coming, so he's not even going to bother moving out. He did not scout the third from Franskar yet, but Franskar's got that down already.
He sees the
We got
spire.
turrets coming down now, and they're going to be up in plenty of time to defend against these mutas.
8 mutas on the way. Normally it would be 9 mutas popping all at once if you build an actual third hatchery, because 3 hatcheries with 3 larvae equals 9.
This Ling trying to kill this SCP. Just isn't able to catch up to it until it stops.
Yep, that is right. Zerglings cannot attack workers that are running away. They run up close to them, but they never quite get in range to get that final attack off. Oh, these mutas swinging right around once they see that missile
He's
turret.
able to cancel that tech lab. That's gonna be huge. Because look at where that tech lab is. Like, it's in such an awkward place.
Yeah, if he gets that, barrel stabilizers, but, you know, Young really doesn't have to do that much damage. He has a third going down.
Yeah.
These mutas are defensive. This is really 3 hatch muta incognito, even though you don't see that third hatch.
Yeah, we got lurker aspect coming up. We've got the third coming up, and that's going to be defended pretty easily.
Ooh, some nice worker picks off. It gets 3 workers. Not normally something you get to do with 3 hatch muta. You normally don't get many kills.
That's interesting. They're actually even on supply. It just means that Terran's not got a huge army at the moment.
Yeah,
And he's going to move out.
these mutas are very supply inefficient. So at this point, the Terran is normally up a teensy bit in supply.
Ooh. There's some pickoffs on the bio ball here. Alright, so we got the sunken line coming up. We got lurkers in preparation for that. And we got lurkers heading to the third base as well for Franskar. And watch this. This column of Marines are going to start getting picked off in the rear. And this is exactly what you should be doing with these mutas.
Such good muta micro.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! I spoke too soon!
No!
Oh! This is horrible! He doesn't have enough mutas to one-shot Marines anymore. Unless they stem themselves to death.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, he still does. 9 times 3, or 4 rather. 36. Yeah, he can one-shot him. After a stem, at least.
Yeah, after a stem he can one-shot. But... You know, and this, he picked off a couple medics there, so there's only 3 medics to cure all these.
Push a lot.
Yeah. And if he
Meanwhile,
pushes without it, it's not
There's a
going to
few
be very
workers in the
good.
middle of the map. Maybe going for some snipes on these Marines.
Are these going to be hold position lurkers? Oh no, he's just...
Ooh.
He's moving in
just
for the
walk in.
run-by.
Or, no, what's he doing?
He sees the
wants to-
bunker. He thinks there's Marines in the bunker.
No, it's black. It's empty.
Oh, the lurkers just walk right
Oh
in.
no!
Oh,
Franskar's like, oh, this is mine now.
another lurker kill. Now this siege tank will be able to shoot these lurkers from range without taking damage. They are range 7 against the range 6 lurkers.
I want to move this thing.
What I'd like to see is these lurkers just go to the main.
Yeah, just like put himself in the bottom of that ramp.
Oh, but this position is
Oh,
not
no.
going to be too good.
Marines
Good
are 50
flank.
foot 100 deep.
Yeah, good control. Though we do see a good bit of creep spread coming out.
Yeah, and Hive is done.
Creep does not give speed bonus. Creep is just there for vision and for building placement. You can start building, you know, spine crawlers with lurkers behind them, and a choky map such as this.
You know, and we got the first science vessels coming out. We have a dropship. It's not really doing much at the moment. Oh, there we go.
It's going to go
Right,
find
so-
a third base for it to kill. But these mutas, you know, this is the danger of doing drops before you have science vessels, is you can't protect the drop.
I don't think Franskar noticed.
No, he
That
didn't. He
drop
didn't
went
see
right
it
over the
all.
lurkers.
Now,
But
one
there's
thing
3
that's
lurkers there's 3 lurkers and a handful of lings at the third, so I think this isn't going to do a lot of damage.
yeah, that's going to be well defended. But one thing to note is that units that are not moving have 1 less vision. And that's
Yeah.
a reincarnation of the brutal mechanic that moving units have more vision. So when his mutas were sitting still, they might not have had vision of that dropship. That's why if you're going to position any units to spot, you normally want to patrol them so they keep moving. Oh, and this is so good. So the siege tanks moved out, they sieged up, and the lurkers just pulled back. This is going to force the Terran player to siege and unsiege. And what the Zerg's trying to buy time for, you can see it here in the production tab, is consumes coming out, because defilers are almost done. So if he can delay this push...
Ooh, Nidus. I like that. The defensive Nidus play.
Yep, defensive Nidus is very, very standard. I'm not too keen on the positioning. I'd like to see it perhaps back closer to that gas, so it can't get sniped from the high ground. But here's another siege up, and then, again, the lurkers just move back a little bit and take up another defensive position. Here's going to be another siege up, and we're likely to see these lurkers just...
Oh, that was close for that tank.
Yeah, that tank almost got lost. You don't want to lose tanks. This is a bio play. It's not mech. You only have a handful of tanks. And here comes the drop. But lurkers are already in position to deal with it, and the drop gets shoot away immediately. You know, such good position.
Scourge are almost... There's a handful of Scourge out on the field, and they're going to be taking up place in the key drop locations, I think.
Yeah,
no, they're just flipping on me right now.
Now, one thing to notice is, with this 3-hatch lurker style, you just get so many lurkers. Your mid-game army is so big.
It's to the point where science vessels aren't really effective in thinning them out, and here comes a huge push. Science vessel that's taken out immediately. Lurkers take a position, Lings trying to run in to get that friendly splash damage on the Marines. And all the tanks are dead.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You don't have to run in and kill a bio force. You just want to get rid of those tanks. Because the bio can't push away this number of lurkers. They just can't. Without a massive flank and big casualties. It's very inefficient. You really need the siege tanks to move the lurkers away. We do have one tank kind of shelling away at the lurkers, getting vision by that science wall, but it gets took out!
Science vessel taken down.
Oh no! Now once this missile turret finishes, it will get vision.
Yeah. But I'm okay. I like that Franskar didn't press in with his lurkers on that third base for the worker kills, because that would have been way too greedy. He would have lost all of these lurkers.
Absolutely. You just want to take up as much space as you safely can as Zerg. Now, you may think...
Franskar is going up to 4 gas now, and on Hive Tech, that's kind of like the magic number of gas. He's going to be able to get Defilers, he's going to be able to get Ultras, and all of it out all at once. Yeah, 4 gas definitely helps. I find 4 gas, if you're pumping a whole lot of Ultra Ling, fizzles at some point. You run out of gas. Yeah, you really need 5 gas to sustain that type production over a longer course of the game. But if you have... Oh, a huge push in with the Lurkers and Lings here. I kind of question... There's the Dark Swarm. Nice. And such good Dark Swarms coming down. Everything's done. Yeah, this third base is forfeit. I would like to see some of these Zerglings though come back to provide more consume energy for the Defiler, but taking down 2 siege tanks. Here's the thing: he lost his standing bio army, which means that in the middle of his mech transition, which means that he's not going to be able to do a lot of pressure on the Zerg for a while here. And Franskar's timing with this push was so good. He pushed right when the Defilers were done, and he timed his Defilers to pop out in the midst of Terran's mech transition. And he is taking on Vultures with Lings using its Dark Swarm. And he's going to press him even farther with his Vultures. Those mines, though. Now, mines are a good answer to Lurkers under Dark Swarm. The mines will still go off. You just don't want to swarm in all your Vultures. You only want to send in a couple, and you want to space them out a little bit while you send them in. Science vessels floating up trying to irradiate. These poor medics are trying to desperately heal each other while Zerglings are just picking away at them, asking why. Why must we stand here? Oh, he was able to get that one last Science vessel. And look at this, he's got Scourge waiting at the starport. Oh no, the Defiler just kind of get meandered in. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Oh, Spider-Mine's going down on top of the Lurkers, but the Zerglings get in there, they defend it. The mines end up going off. Or perhaps they got killed by the Spines. No, the Lurkers killed them all in one shot. That was